Hello, hello. Happy Firewater Friday, everyone. I am Seth Brown, and I am joined this week by the one, the only, Mr. Aaron Cave, and you are listening to the Firewater Review. How's it going, dude?
Good. How about yourself?
It's going well. Good to have you back. I was lonely last week.
Yeah, no, sorry I missed it, but life happens, so.
It does. And 'tis the season for life to happen a little more crazily, I think.
Yes.
If that's a word. Crazily? Is that a word?
It is now.
We'll make it one. That sounds good. What do we have on tap for this show, man?
We are doing a little Michter's single barrel 10-year.
Excellent. Mine is from 2016. How about you?
Mine is also from 2016.
Excellent.
But we do have different barrel numbers.
I think we do. Mine, I can't really read it. It's 16. I can't tell if it's an A or a G. 907 is my barrel number on mine.
Mine is 16H939. I've had this one open for a while, and I know yours is just recently freshly popped due to a major battle.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have to break out a saw here for a little bit, but yeah, before we started recording, I just opened mine, and as pretty as the wax looks, mine was a little difficult to get open. The little tab on it was completely covered with wax, and then when I finally did get it uncovered, that broke, so I ended up having to cut it off. Could be worse, I guess. I got it open. That's what matters most.
Yes. It is open, it is poured, and ready to be enjoyed.
Yes. So I had to do the history last week, and I'm not used to doing the history. That's a lot of research, man.
It is. Yeah. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's not so fun. I'm going to tell you right now, today's not so fun. It's, there's a lot of like history, but finding just some plain Jane information on the bourbon itself was a little difficult.
Yeah, that was kind of the Ezra Brooks. I was able to kind of piece a lot of it together, but it took some digging. And even that was still kind of sketchy. And I think Michter's is probably worse than what Ezra Brooks was, as far as history goes.
Yeah. For the history part, I mean, this Michter's dates back to 1753 is when they're saying they were officially opened, and that was in Pennsylvania. And they were opened through the mid-1800s, changed some distillery names. In the mid-1800s is when they became, they were the Baumburger's distillery. And they were going strong up until Prohibition. And in 1919 is when the distillery was forced to close. And so they stopped production. The name never really went away. It changed a lot of hands, and then they actually went bankrupt and closed officially in the 1980s. But then in the 1990s, the name was bought and kind of resurrected. And then in 2004 is when they actually started to re-release the bourbons and ryes and American whiskeys under the Michter's name. And of course, those were sourced whiskeys because they weren't distilling at the time. They actually just built their new facility in Kentucky in Louisville. Mm-hmm. It's 67,000 square feet, and they started distilling in 2015. So you won't really see any of those expressions for quite a while. So they'll still be sourcing and releasing their normal stuff as is. But they got some really neat information on the way they are doing their process of distilling. They take their barrels and they before the barrel's constructed, they age the wood from anywhere from 18 to 36 months. And then before they char the barrel, they actually toast it. So it's toasted first, then charred, which I thought it was kind of neat. And their barrel entry proof is pretty impressive, 103.
Oh, huh.
It's super low. So that's kind of neat. And then for each bourbon that they release, or whiskey they release, they have a different type of chill filtration process that they use unique to that single whiskey, which is kind of neat as well. So as of 2016, Pam Heidelman took over distilling, first woman distiller, master distiller since Prohibition, which is kind of neat.
Yep.
So her first release of this expression, the 10-year single barrel, was this year, 2017. So we are doing something that she did not approve, but I
haven't heard much on this year's release. Have you?
I have not either. I have a bottle, but I have not opened it yet. Like I said, I've had this one opened for quite some time, and I tend to really actually like these quite a bit, so I tend to nurse them. Mm-hmm. I don't know when I opened this one, but I know it's been open for a while, and I really enjoy them.
I have a bottle of the 2017, but it is not for me. It's for a friend.
What a nice guy you are.
I'm nice like that.
Yeah, I actually picked up 2 17s this year and offered one to my brother because I didn't really need 2 2017s because I had I had 2 16s, but I ended up, I think, selling the other 16 to a friend as well.
Yeah.
No, I traded it actually for a couple store picks.
Nice. See, you're a nice guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michter, they've been around for a while. I like a lot of the stuff that they're putting out now. The toasted bourbon is really good. I still have a bottle of the first release of it. I really enjoyed it. I picked up one bottle of it, opened it, loved it so much I went back and picked up the other bottle. But then the rye is typically pretty good, the barrel strength rye.
I love the barrel strength rye.
Yeah.
It's a one I always want, a bottle I always have.
Yeah. Yep. I still am nursing. I got about half a bottle left of that. But the 10 is good. Have you ever had their, what is it? The American whiskey?
I have, and it is a dessert whiskey.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's like drinking a cupcake.
Yeah.
So if you could picture, just drinking a cupcake, there it is.
Does that include the actual cake part of it or just the icing?
Yeah, funfetti and all.
Oh, sweet. I dig it, man. Yeah, it's super sweet. Yeah. I like it. It's one of those things you don't go to that often, but the one bottle I have had out of it, I went through it pretty quick because that's exactly what I did with it. Like every night for 2 weeks, I came downstairs and had a drink of it after dinner, and then it was gone. So yeah, the 10-year, we were trying to decide if it's 2 releases per year, and I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. I know they released this. I was reading up, and Pam's first official release was in March, but I picked my 2 bottles up in the fall. So it seems like there's probably 2 releases a year, but I'm thinking back, trying to figure out if I picked anything up in the spring last year when I got the 2 16s, and I can't really remember. So I'm no help on that one.
That's all right. We'll just say that it's 2 releases a year.
There you go.
But then they have the 10-year rye this year, and then they have a 25. And have you ever had the 25? I haven't.
I have never had the 25, and they also have a 20.
Yes, forgot about that. And then there's also the other one that I will probably never have.
Oh, you're not going to sell your car and buy a Celebration?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've never even seen it. I've seen there's been a couple of bottles here in the Atlanta area. People have posted photos of them to the local Facebook group, but I personally have never even seen one.
I've seen a couple of them, and I've actually been offered to buy one, and I turned it down because.
How come?
Well, honestly, if you think about it, and if you were into flipping, it could, if you knew the right person, probably make a good chunk of change off of it. But it's just I don't know the right person. I don't know anyone that spend that kind of money on a bottle of bourbon.
No.
So
those go for what, like $5,000?
I think the celebration was last year's, and it was I think they were. The asking price was somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, but another thing I wanted to mention, they just came out with, I think it's a Kentucky only special release, is the Michter's barrel strength, just the bourbon barrel strength.
Oh,
and I have not been able to get my hands on that, but I would love to at some point.
Yeah, I bet that would be a good one.
But they do have 225s. They have a 25 straight rye and a 25 straight bourbon. Then you have your 10 rye, your 10 bourbon, and then your 20. Then the standards, you got your American, your rye, your bourbon, and your sour mash. And we talked about the toasted and the barrel strengths. So I think that's all.
They have a toasted rye now.
Yes. And I have a bottle of that open.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I actually really like it. I know a lot of people were kind of back and forth about it. I think I like the standard a little bit better, but it's different, and it kind of brings like a different aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's overly oaky, but it does have a little that extra oak to it. But I've gone through half a bottle, so I guess I'm enjoying it.
I missed it around here. I know it came here and left before I could get into a store that actually had it. So I've missed it, but perhaps
actually. I ordered mine offline.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, one day I was just searching around, and I was like, "Oh, this place has toasted rye." So
I like the way you shop.
Yeah, well, you always got to buy in pairs because the shipping is about the same. So
yeah, I like the logic, man.
Oh yeah,
I like it. What else? Anything else to add?
So this is a single barrel. The 10-year comes out once to twice a year. It is a straight bourbon, and it's sourced. They don't disclose where from, or the mash bill or any of that. So
they're pretty tight-lipped about that. I don't ever see anything.
They are.
I don't ever see any. I don't know that I ever see any speculation. I'm sure somebody has it, but I never see it.
Yeah. They don't even, on the back, it doesn't even say where it was distilled at. It just says bottled by Michter's Distillery, Louisville, Kentucky. So it doesn't even say anywhere if it's.
I guess they just assume everybody knows it's sourced. So
yeah,
here's who's bottling it. Enjoy it. So this typically runs around 120.
Yeah, that's what I paid for my bottle. It was 120.
Yeah, that's what this one was. The 2017 that I have was, I think, 150, but that's why I didn't buy it for myself.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine said, nope, go ahead and pick it up for me. So I did.
Nice.
Yeah. What else? I keep cutting you off.
I think that's it. Okay. I think that's all I got.
I can't cut you off anymore.
Oh, you can when we do the tasting notes.
All right, cool. Well, why don't we take a quick break and then come back with tasting notes? Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. When we return, we'll do that. Welcome back, everybody. For once, I guess it's been a while, but we actually did sip in the break this time. And we are drinking Michter's 10-year single barrel, and both of our bottles are from 2016. Two separate barrels, two different barrels, but both from the same year. per the usual format, I will let Aaron take it away first.
All right. So I love this nose on the bourbon. It's just, it's very inviting, very rich. Got a lot of great things going on in with it. I get a lot of almost buttered cornbread, some nice toffee notes. Definitely get the toasted wood. It shows its age. Some nice caramel corn. Get a little hints of leather and tobacco floating in. I get some nice cherry flavor or notes to it. The thing that really jumps out at me that I don't really think I've ever got in a bourbon, but it just comes to mind is cream soda.
Yeah,
and that kind of blew me away. I'm like, that smells like cream soda. So yeah, it's got a great nose, and on the palate, it's a lot of on the line with the nose. It's rich, it's creamy. For being only 94 proof, it's got a great mouthfeel. I still get a lot of toffee notes, some maple syrup, some nice oakiness. It's not over oaked by any means. I think it's actually very well balanced between the sweet, the spice, and the oak. It has some nice cinnamon red hots to it. I get a little bit of clove and allspice, and I still get the leather throughout. The finish is a medium finish. It's not long. It's medium. It's kind of one of those, it's on the drier side of the finishes. I get cherries, some nice leather and tobacco, and I even get a little, I think it's fig that's popping in there at the finish. Overall, I really enjoy this. I usually pick up a bottle a year. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 90.
Sweet. Yeah, it's been a very long time since I've had this. And it's funny because a lot of my notes are similar to yours. And when we were in the break, I mean, we were both, I think, both of us were drinking it and kind of getting a feel for it, maybe jotting down some notes. I know I was jotting down some notes, but we weren't really discussing at the time what we were tasting. And, just you going through it is, yeah, I mean, I would say damn near spot on what I have jotted down. So yeah, I'll jump into mine too. You gave yours a 90. Is that what you said?
Yeah, 90. Yeah. It's been a while since we've had a break where it's been just complete silence for like 2 to 3 minutes.
And usually it's us chatting about bourbon or just life in general. But yeah, we were, like I said, we were actually drinking in this break we drink through every break, but actually doing notes. But yeah, I'll get into mine. It's a very sweet nose. The thing that jumped out at me, and it's one of the things that you mentioned, was buttered cornbread. That and cherries are the two things that really jumped out on this one. It's got a lot of toffee, a lot of caramel, some of that toasted oak, a little bit of leather in there, maybe a hint of nutmeg. But just the nose itself comes across as being really creamy. And I think you kind of alluded to it with the cream soda. Mm-hmm. And on the palate, the palate definitely carries through from where the nose is going. It's very sweet, very creamy. Like you said, great mouthfeel. There's a little bit of spice to it. I kind of expected it to have a little bit more spice to it than what it does, but it's still very well balanced between the sweet and the spice. There's some black pepper notes in there, a little bit of red pepper notes. Again, the toffee, some very light tobacco notes in there. Again, just very well balanced. I enjoyed it. It's really easy drinker. And it's like you said, the nose is inviting, and I just keep going back to it. It's now that this is open, I don't know that it'll last too long. The finish for me was medium to long. I think with it being as creamy as it is, it almost comes across as being thick, and it kind of helps draw it out a little bit longer for me. Again, I was kind of hoping there would be a little bit more spice on it, but still that creaminess it's just a great flavor. I was getting vanilla, toffee, caramel. There's a hint of that tobacco and leather coming back in there, some black pepper, bringing in just a little bit of spice. It's just, again, very enjoyable, very well balanced, and I'm going to go with an 88 on this one.
All right. That's going to give us an 89.
I like it.
Right in the middle.
We like easy math.
That we do. Yeah, man, I'm with you. It's always a good pour. Like you were saying, now that you got it open, it probably won't last. That's now that I'm drinking it, I'm thinking, oh, I might, have this again tomorrow, maybe the day after that, and the day after that.
It's kind of funny though.
Nice, easy drinker, yeah.
Yeah, it really is, and I don't know. I've read where there's been a couple of years that have been off with it. I don't know which ones those are specifically. This has been the first bottle that I've ever owned. I've had it in the past, but this is the first one I've ever owned. So I can't really speak to any of them being off. What I've had, I remember being really good. But yeah, I don't know, like the secondary value for this, I mean, mine's open. Obviously, I'm not reselling it, but the secondary value for this is weird because it sells for $120 retail, and it never usually gets above like $150 to $175. I don't know what it is about this. It just, some of them jump way up, like a lot of the Four Roses special releases, those will retail for $120, $130, and then the secondary markets will be $250, $300 for some of them. And that's just for whatever reason, it's never been the case with Michter's. I don't know if that is because if it indeed is released twice a year, maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
And it's limited, but I don't know how limited of a release it is. I think there's usually a good handful. I don't see it sitting on shelves, but I picked up 2 within the span of a day, and it was, fairly easy. I just, oh, hey, got this Michter's tin, and you want it? Oh, sure. Went to my other store. Hey, you got this Michter's tin, and you want it? I'm like, well, I guess. So it's, I don't think it's hard to get if you're looking for it. And I mean, I'm sure there's places that has it sitting on the shelf marked up, but
yeah, most places only get 1 to 2 bottles, I think, at most, that I've ever seen, at least anyway. I enjoy this, man. I enjoy it. Anything else to add?
I don't think so. I really want to try the barrel strength.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to try that.
If anyone is listening that has that, you need to come on the show so we can review that.
But I love the rye barrel strength, and the toasted rye barrel strength's a solid one too. So
wherever they get it, they pick good barrels.
Yeah, I feel like maybe a toasted rye and a barrel strength rye night is in the works. Maybe.
Do you think so?
Yeah, that could be a fun side by side.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I've got a barrel strength rye open.
And I got the toasted rye open, so
there we go.
There it is.
Done. All right, man. So we gave it an 89. Was that what we came up with?
89 out of 100.
Excellent. It was good having you back, man.
Yeah. I'm sorry we missed last week.
It's all right.
Hopefully smooth selling from here. It may be a bump in the road with Christmas and New Year's, but once that's over and done with,
back at it.
Yeah. So, and the nice thing about Christmas and New Year's is they're both Mondays. So,
yeah,
a Thursday night recording is not out of the question.
I don't think so. Don't think so at all.
Yeah. So I think I'm good for the next couple Thursdays.
Yeah, I should be too.
So
as far as I know.
Who knows? So all right, well,
89. Where can folks find you?
I am Bourbon Cave on Instagram and Twitter. Writes for the Bourbon Zeppelin and the Sons of Winston Churchill. And you can always find me here on the Firewater Review.
And I am Seth P. Brown on Instagram and every other fourth Sunday on Twitter. And that is actually not true. You can find me here on this show. You can find all of our shows on the ABV Network. You can find those on abvnetwork.com. You can find this show in iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and on the YouTubes, audio only, no video. Maybe someday we'll do video. I don't know. Kind of freaks me out, though.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
My hair is never done. Anyway, we appreciate your reviews, your feedback. We'd love to hear what you want us to review. Come on the show. Review it with us. We'd love to have you. And you can find this show on Instagram. It's at Firewater Review. Did you mention that one?
Maybe.
All right. Well, there you go. Now it's on her twice. All right. That's it. Until next week, please drink responsibly and cheers.
Later.
The Firewater Review is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers.
Oh, yeah, I can't get the tab started. What the? Seriously, gonna have to go get a knife. The tab broke off.
Oh, geez.
There was an Evan Williams. I think it was an Evan Williams single barrel that I had issues with one time. I had to get a pair of pliers. The wax was so thick on it.
Oh, geez. I'll get problems with Bookers every once in a while.
Yeah. Good grief. Cut my damn finger off. Yeah. Get it? Oh, you gotta be shitting me. Cut this thing off. This is pathetic. I just want to drink you.